I've covered a lot of situations at this point where gamers are getting mad at games because they call it woke and they call it cringe, even though like if you actually like played the game at all and like you played the game with your eyes open for maybe like 5 minutes, you wouldn't be surprised that like the companies that make these games and the developers that make these games are like, woke, I guess is how they'll describe it. Because like even most of the time though, there's also like the slightest benefit of the doubt that you can give these people where like maybe they missed it or something like that, or maybe they didn't like really look at the community in any way and like any of the community posts by the developers. But one of the most shocking games that I think I've seen people get mad about for being woke is Warframe. Especially with them like posting about their Pride Month celebration a day or two ago, because I feel like the sheer number of people who have played the game and who have like started getting mad at the game straight up had to have been playing with their ears closed, their eyes closed, and just put themselves in a sensory deprivation chamber as they played the game. Because it's shocking to me that you can get mad at Warframe out of all games for being, I guess, woke. Because, like, some would say it's one of the wokest games and one of the wokest developers out there. And all the unhappiness at Warframe started with just this post right here from yesterday, where they just said the Origin system is celebrating Pride all throughout June. Join in on the festivities with brand new Pride items, watch our featured Warframes creators, and more. And then they link to a developer post thing. And like, obviously, nothing too crazy, nothing wild. I mean, as someone who plays Warframe myself, I wasn't surprised that they're doing like, posting about this type of stuff, knowing the characters in the game and the relationships that are in the game. It's not surprising that they'd be supporting of Pride Month and like, doing stuff for it. But I guess like, there's a lot of people, there's a substantial amount of people who are actually like shocked that Warframe would dare to venture into the world of woke. One of these are right here with this guy who's saying, are you going to do something for Men's Mental Health Month too? Or are we just pandering to the pedophiles? Because this guy's just like absolutely mentally insane for some reason. And then someone immediately pointed him out that he's wrong and stupid and saying they raised $20,000 last November for men's mental health. And he says, that's not men's mental health, though, is it? And then they said the Movember Foundation is in support of men's mental health and suicide prevention. One criticism is wrong. Obviously, calling them just pedophiles is like absolutely fucking ridiculous. But this guy did like the classic right-wing thing where it's just like, oh, why do we have Pride Month, but not like, I don't know, Men's Mental Health Month or Veterans Month? Even though there are months that are specifically for those two types of things to raise awareness, it's just that they legitimately don't care about those issues in actuality. Like if a man shows emotion. If a man shows emotion, I guarantee this like console decent guy will, or graviton janitor guy, whatever he wants to be called, will just like laugh at them for showing emotion and call them like weak and gay. So I don't think he actually gives a fuck about men's mental health. I think he just likes, hating on gay people. Not surprising that this person just doesn't do any capacity of research in any way before they speak online. Another one I've seen is like this Giga Bear guy where he says, be Warframe social media manager. Be forced to read the comments and know what you sent pissed off a lot of people in the community. Mentally convince yourself they're the problem as you hide all their replies. I, once again, don't understand what type of game this guy has been playing. I guess you can see the games he plays: Star Citizen, World of Warcraft, and Path of Exile 2. And noticeably, we don't see Warframe here, so I think this guy's trying to LARP like he's part of the community, just to do like anti-gay propaganda. And like this person brings out a good point. It's kind of just like wild that it happens as often as it does, saying me when I'm in a who's more lobotomized competition, as people get mad and shocked at Warframe every year over the thing they do every year, because like this is something that they do every year. Every single year they do Pride celebrations. In the game, there's like, I think multiple gay relationships. There's a non-binary character who came out like, I think a year and a half ago with Flare. It's just crazy how they're able to do these mental gymnastics to ignore the most obvious things in their face and then act like, Warframe is hurting a bunch of their community members, when I don't think they really give a fuck about like people like Giga Bear being in their community, because once again, I don't think they're trying to aim for these type of people to be in their gaming community. I think this Giga Bear just like fucking hilarious, and I don't know why I'm like dogpiling on this dude specifically, but he has just a bunch of funny tweets where he said, when we see a Pride tweet from a gaming Twitter, the feeling is the same as if you on the left would see this. Hope it clears up. I don't know. You guys, he said like Warframe should do Donald Trump Appreciation Week or something like that. I don't really know. And this person like brings up a good point, saying, a question class: would a queer-coded game be more likely to celebrate Pride Month like it has for the past decade, or a convicted felon who's threatened to annex the country of the developers? I think a lot of the members of the Warframe community would be mad when they know what they're expecting from the developers, and which is to celebrate like Pride Month and stuff like that, and like all these, I guess, quote unquote woke causes. It would be kind of a little bit of a bait and switch to see them say like, actually, let's go Donald Trump, let's go President of the United States, annex us, please. Make yourself our daddy, please. We're beg of you. Like, yes, I think it would be logically more shocking for them to just like bow down and not get mad at this hypothetical situation of them posting about Donald Trump wearing a celebration event. And so obviously, when it comes to all these type of like Pride Month things, people are review bombing the game on Steam. And so I think it would be a fun activity to go onto Steam and like investigate what people are saying about the game. What are these reviews about? So we have like some reviews that like see like they're actually kind of legitimate. Like this person has 1,000 hours and they have genuine complaints about the game. Like this is fine. But unfortunately you have a bunch like this, 800 hours in the game, which like I don't know how the fuck you have this many hours and not understand like this is not a surprising thing for Warframe to do, where he calls it like an agenda driven update. This guy calls it a fetish targeted money grab. Used to be a good game, then LGBT, and you have 1,000 hours. Long, tedious, and unfun quests. Every other update. Base stats not matching what the Frames kit does, and pushing the woke agenda. You have 2,000 hours in the game. I'm against woke, only 33 hours. Pushing sexuality, 170 hours. Glorifying mental illness, 100 hours. At a prime set of men's mental health. Once again, this person doesn't do his research because he actually doesn't care about the issues that he's complaining about. Broke the immersion of Warframe sci-fi universe. Studios should focus on the game instead of pushing real-world political stances and propaganda. Gameplay loop is decent, but it gets repetitive quickly. Like, once again, 300 hours in the game. And so, like, it's crazy to me that we have multiple people who have at least 10 days of their lives spent in the game, and not once did they stumble upon the fact that, like, there's gay stuff in the game. I don't understand how it is physically possible for these people. I guess they can't read, nor look at their screen, or use critical thinking skills, which I guess, like, this is what happens when you see a lot of these people. But, like, how the fuck do you go that long in playing Warframe out of all games and get surprised when they post about pride? Like, what are you doing? How are you that stupid? How are you that dumb? You would, like, think you give some of these people the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe it's hidden. It is unbelievably obvious in Warframe that there's this type of stuff in it. I don't understand how you go like 1,000 hours. There's people who have 1,000 hours on this game and don't see this stuff. It is shocking to me. It is crazy to me that they're this blind. But obviously, we still need to see how people who actually play the game with their eyes open and with sound on react to the game. So let's just take a peek at this, which basically summarizes the entirety of the Warframe's community's reaction to it, other than like these few LARPers who are getting mad at nothing. Be Warframe, commit to know generative AI at DE, have representation of a variety of people, be it autistic, trans, gay, or beyond, have super progressive themes in your story, support LGBTQIA plus community, harder than basically any other big game studio, constant success. So I think people who actually like pay attention to the game and aren't just like fucking idiots actually are supporting this decision that Warframe has made to have this event, which isn't surprising in any capacity because, like, once again, I don't understand how you can go through Warframe for, you can go like 10 hours and like view with your own eyes that, you know, it's not shocking that Warframe would be supporting of LGBT people. But I don't really know. Who am I to expect people who get mad at this stuff to be able to read or even like listen or use critical thinking or just have a functioning brain? Who am I to think that? I guess it's my fault for having that assumption. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. This is more of like a game that I've actually played for a while, and like this is why I'm more shocked about it and kind of maybe got a little bit more animated because I just think it's absolutely fucking hilarious that people are this stupid. Especially like speaking from experience for someone who plays a game, like I can't fathom how they missed stuff they're getting mad at. Once again, maybe I'm naive for thinking that they couldn't possibly miss this type of stuff in over 2,000 hours of gameplay. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, that's all I got for today. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.